Today we're going to be going from the smallest Lego mechs to the biggest Lego mechs.
Today I'm building Lego Marvel Mechs, all the way from 1 Lego piece up to 1,000. Each mech will get crazier and cooler, so be sure to watch to the end. Beginning with our smallest Lego mech, we have this Iron Man suit that is just 1 Lego piece, and it easily fits in the palm of my hand, and the same goes for Iron Man's hand. Now our next Lego mech build is this tiny robotic Hulkbuster, which we'll see only get bigger throughout this video. But
Yo, at the end of the video, he's going to show the whole Lego Hulkbuster, and it looks absolutely amazing. But before we get there, we're going to watch a couple of other ones like the Venom one.
150 Lego pieces, we have this Hulk mech, which we can place a Lego minifigure sized Hulk inside of. Now the mech is themed to look just like the Hulk, even with the purple pants. But the most standout part of this mech are the Hulk's huge fists, which are supersized and can hold large Lego pieces in them. And now our first 200 piece build is this Lego Captain America mech, which is a super articulate mech with posable arms and legs. You'll notice the feet of the mech are designed to look like brown boots, and hidden behind one of the boots is a clip for Captain America's shield, who we can place at the center of the mech. Now Captain America has these large mech arms, which are also made to look like gloves, and there's a spot on one of the arms where you can take this large shield piece and attach it to it, so Captain America can have his iconic shield. And then at 250 Lego parts, we get this awesome looking Black Panther mech, which has these cool clawed feet, and then the entire color scheme of this whole mech is super eye-catching, with purple, black, silver, and gold. And instead of the legs standing straight up, we have them in this crouched position, like the mech is an animal hunting for prey. The Black Panther mech also comes equipped with a tail, which hangs right over the main part of the mech where Black Panther sits. Now the arms and hands may just be the most well-designed part of this whole mech. I mean, we have the Black Panther's claws designed in the shoulder. Speaking of claws, this mech has some massive purple ones, which are perfect for grabbing onto bad guys. And when everything comes together, we have a super unique mech design.
Okay, so Black Panther has a tail. What? I don't know why that's there, but another bunch of really cool mechs. I'm a big fan of the Captain America one and all the little additions that come with it. I love the colorways. And Hulk's maybe could have been even bigger. Hulk just needs to be bigger than everyone else. That's how you do Hulk right. Hulk needs to just be bigger.
Over to 300 Lego pieces, we've got Thor and his mech. The legs of Thor's mech have these shiny gold pieces all over them. And you'll notice there's a clip on either side of the mech. Well, that's for Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, just in case Thor gets tired of carrying them around. They can be placed on the side of the mech. Now, when we build the rest of the mech's body, you'll notice this large red thing on the back. Well, that's supposed to represent Thor's red cape. Except this larger version has much cooler details like lightning coming off of it. And because Thor has normal sized versions of his weapons, let's make them mech sized. And now this is my definition of an epic looking mech. And don't worry, the mechs are only going to get better from here.
Oh, I'm excited for the next mechs to come up. It's the attention to detail that you're seeing in this, where he's making the mech versions of the weapons. Because if you have these big mechs and these little weapons, then that's kind of goofy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that this guy is putting the attention to detail.
Gets a rough go with Iron Man and his mech, so let's build him a giant 350 piece mech suit to make up for that. Now this mech is pretty sweet looking. It's very robotic with translucent red and silver parts all over it. It's got a nice little jetpack build on the back to help it fly, and then it has these interesting panels right around where Ultron sits in the mech, which I think is supposed to represent his mask.
I want to see this in live action.
Iron Man needs some firepower to fight back, so here's a 400 piece Hulkbuster mech. Now this Lego mech is full of details, like these translucent blue thrusts on the bottom of it to help it fly. Unfortunately, the knees aren't posable on this mech, and the arms aren't very posable either, but they do have these cool gold armor pieces on them. My favorite part of this Hulkbuster, though, has to be the way you load Iron Man into it. But while these two are battling it out, this 450 piece Thanos mech dropped in and defeated both of them. I'm not sure why, but there's something so classy about this plain and simple gold and dark blue color style. The legs are very chunky and covered in gold armor, and the same can be said about the arms. At the center controlling everything is Thanos, and then behind the mech is this interesting translucent piece that's covered up. And you can't have a Thanos mech without a mean-looking Infinity Gauntlet, so this one has one. Now, if you thought any mech before this was big, now you're really gonna see a giant mech. This is 500 pieces of pure Venom, with absolute landing pads for feet and Venom tentacles coming out from all over the legs. But the center of the mech is where the detail really starts to shine, as there's this huge white spider look on the front of the mech, which is very similar to Venom's logo. Venom's logo also carries onto the back, but let's look at these arms, which have these huge huge clawed fingers on the end of them. These might be the biggest claws we've seen so far in this video. Perfect for snatching up a poor defenseless Spider-Man, and when you put everything together, this Venom looks absolutely ferocious. Now you notice there's this little spot right on top of Venom's hand that we can build and attach this Venom web piece, which looks super cool when placed. There's another even crazier option for webs being launched by Venom, and it's this one right here, which is on a stand. It has these crazy white claws, and we can hook it up to Venom's web and have it snatching Spider-Man.
That was pretty impressive. That mech is freaking huge. Did you see Spider-Man getting grabbed by it? It made Spider-Man look so freaking tiny. I made an entire video on that mech, and I know that's a really good one. And you guys really like that video, so that must be like a really good mech. That one has to be in stores then, because that's the exact same mech from the video that I made. That one literally has to be.
Now that Venom has an epic mech, we need to give Spider-Man an epic mech. So allow for me to introduce you to the 600-piece Spider Mech, which honestly reminds me a lot of this Iron Spider Lego minifigure. Now the mech has some very slender, articulate legs, which allow for you to put it in a lot of cool poses. But the top half of the mech is really where all the coolest parts are. We have some articulate, slender arms, just like the legs, and then these huge shoulder armor pieces. And then there are 4 posable spider legs on the back. And everything is topped off with this very detailed and compact spider head. But now you're probably saying, isn't this a mech? Where's the Lego minifigure? Well, allow for me to answer that question by opening up the body of the mech to reveal a Lego Spider-Man minifigure hidden in there. While both of these mechs are awesome, cool. It's crazy there's only 100 Lego piece difference. And now let's take a look at this 600-piece Lego Hulkbuster. And now we're at the point of the video where these mechs are just so large they make Lego minifigures look tiny. The legs have surprisingly good articulation for how big it is. It's funny to place Iron Man at different spots on this mech just to show how small he is. But the most interesting part to me is how all these shapes are made to come around the arc reactor in a circular way. The arms of this Hulkbuster are just massive. And even though it's super large, you can still fit a Lego minifigure inside. And the head does have some posability to it, which is pretty cool. And at 700 Lego pieces, we have this Moon Knight mech, which I specifically bought my very first Moon Knight minifigure for, and man, it's super cool looking. The legs of this Moon Knight mech are surprisingly still articulate while managing to be well armored. And there's even some extra armor right above the legs. At the back of the mech, there are some wires hanging off. Now the arms are surprisingly packed with a lot of different colors on this mech. We have these cool crest pieces right over the shoulders, and then we have some nice detail along the arms. And then unlike some of the other mechs, this mech actually has a weapon. Now this mech also happens to have a head that resembles Moon Knight, and it looks pretty cool. Now just like the Spider mech, if we open up the body of this one, we'll notice there's a seat right in the center for Moon Knight to sit. Now before we look at the 1,000-piece Lego Marvel Mech, I used a couple official Lego sets in this video, but most of these mechs are custom builds, and so I'll link all the information about them below. But now it's finally time to look at our 1,000-piece Lego Marvel Mech, a giant Hulkbuster that can fit Iron Man. It's way bigger than a Lego minifigure and bigger than any Hulkbuster we've built so far. It even has its own display stand. And now we've built from 1 Lego piece to 1,000 Lego piece Marvel Mechs.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and watch one of these videos here. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.